we've also touched a few ways, like especially sa new strategy, like placing it on paper. Siguro the next thing, it's just a much more technical and a much more practical way, is spreadsheet. So,
Ah,
do you think is spreadsheet rather an effective way in tracking my budgets and especially my inflows and outflows?
uh, um, I think a spreadsheet is important for the most high level, which is your ba- balance sheet mo, or like, so balance sheet is basically your assets, diba, how much each
Yeah.
bank account or like investment account and how much it is there lang. So
Mm.
kapag super important spreadsheet for that. And if you're forecasting, super important yung spreadsheet for that.
Spreadsheet, yeah.
But when it comes to asset or like income expense tracking, like for me, if you're salaried, your income is super basic, eh, diba? It's like one windfall or two windfalls a month lang, eh, diba?
Yeah, yeah.
What else will you track much? It's a bit simple. And when it comes to expenses, yes, you can have that ledger lang, diba, of every single expense. Tig, 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 tig.
Mhm.
But there are so many uh, helpful apps na rin now outside
Yeah.
spreadsheets, eh, diba, na
I'll say spreadsheet, yeah, for sure.
you just get for free. Ako, what I use is Money Manager. I don't know
Money
if it,
manager.
but yun yung logo. Parang pig yung logo niya, yung gitna na yun.
Ah, I see. I see. I'll look into that, sir.
Money Manager. So it's useful. It's useful. Yeah.
So do you recommend syempre, would you recommend these free apps as well? If do you think they're much more helpful? Well, personally for you, yeah.
Yeah, kasi ano, so parang what I like about it is within 3 seconds, I can like every time I outflow, I can just, or my expense, I can just lodge it, diba? I pay
Mhm.
cash in a restaurant, I pay credit card, in 3 seconds nilagay ko na. Tapos it's free bucket, may ano na siya, may icons na siya. So I'll just,
Yeah.
when I record an expense, I'll just put food, diba? Or like transpo, kung nag-fuel, nag-gas up ako, or like sports, kung nag-sport. So may mga icons akong pinili, and I can customize the icons. May top 9 icons na. So I already
Yeah.
have my most important line items there. I'll just click it, I put the amount, tapos na, recorded na siya. As the
Yes,
month
sir.
progresses, diba, I get to see how each of these buckets increase, and
Mhm.
how much I spent for each of the categories.
I see, sir.
Ito pala yung ginagamit ko. Ito Money Manager. Sorry, it's like a dollar site sa gitna.
Money manager. Okay, that's duly noted, Sir Kyle. Thank you so much for sharing. And lastly, siguro this is a mas siguro in-depth topic.
Hmm.
Pero siguro ako personally as a math, I do not fully understand it, but do you think does one have to be well versed in accounting to make an effective budget plan, or is it okay for students like me who are not yet that knowledgeable?
Sobra, sobra. Yeah, yeah. um, yeah, so that's why I always want to go back to yung kanina sinabi ko na it's just those 3 steps. Diba? It's
Mhm.
listing down your income items, listing down your expense items. Because as you
Mhm.
list down the two, you just put the amount times the frequency. Like kung allowance yan, diba? It's like, let's say allowance is 100 peso a day, 100 times 30, whatever, right? And then kapag yung sa expense item is always amount times frequency. So it's like 150 times, let's say, sports goes like 150 per sports, diba? And then I would play sports like 10 times a month, like in 4.5 weeks in a month, twice a week, 10 times. Or sorry, 9 yun, diba? So yung 9 times na yun, right, will be 150 times 9, diba? So 150 peso lang for that line item. So
Mhm.
part 1, part 2, and then part 3, if may discrepancy, may gusto kong ayusin, just reiterate and recalibrate. Right? Ganun lang kasimple. And I think you don't need to be a accounting student, or you don't need to even be like a business student. You can be from any course, any degree, any walk of life. You could, and you would be satisfied doing that.
For sure, sir. Thank you so much for sharing that, sir. I know for sure that would be very helpful, lalo na sa mga, hopefully, to our PFS participants as well who are just, getting into finance as well.
Right.
And I think that's those are 10 words. So thank you so much, sir,
Oh,
for those very insightful answers. I am sure that our viewers had numerous takeaways from your tips and advice. And before we officially end, sir, is it okay if I ask you one last word to siguro describe your perception of budgeting?
okay, sure. I give the word.
Yes, sir. One word to describe your perception of budgeting.
fulfilling, I'd say.
Fulfilling.
Yeah.
Wow, that's quite deep. So,
Yeah.
okay,
Because people might say it's intimidating, diba? Or like
yeah.
hassle, diba? But I'd say it's fulfilling. It's nice to go like that bird's eye view and understand things from a high level.
Mhm. I see. Very fulfilling. Is it if it's okay if I may ask, is it fulfilling when you like let's say for example like in the end goal of budgeting is syempre we have that savings and like that end amount of money that we have in as an excess. Is it
Mm.
fulfilling in such a way na parang yung money mo after that you're able to spend it to on like siguro in much more assets or in things that you love that you didn't expect or something like that.
Yeah. Exactly. So fulfilling because it affords you by on two ways. Now, one is you see your bank balance grow, your investment accounts grow, because you're dutiful about it, and you kind of see how your plan is executed to action very like on point. Everything's in your control as long as you budget it correctly, and diba? And you get to see it grow and lumalaki amount when nagkakaroon ng extra digit, diba? But it also becomes fulfilling later on in life, or like whenever you want to just have a purchase, um, hey, you can afford it more because you had budgeted earlier on, or you had budgeted,
Yeah.
and you have the extra money in the bank to just use if you really want to attend that concert, that play, diba? Or buy that thing that you really wanted. Diba?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for that, sir. And that actually marks the end of our interview. So we hope to for our viewers, thank you so much as well for tuning in, and we hope to see you as well in the next episode of our Finance Word Factory, brought to you by the Philippine Financial Summit 2023. So that wraps it up. Thank you so much again, sir.